Welcome to Ask AI, the podcast that brings you insightful interviews and news from the world of Canadian artificial intelligence. This episode is sponsored by Microsoft Canada. Go to microsoft.com/AI and check out their free AI business school to start building intelligence into your solutions today. We're also sponsored by Cinchi, the global leader in data fabric technology. Visit Cinchi.com to learn how to eliminate integration and turbocharge your AI transformation.
So Greg, I'd love to know more about yourself, your background, and more about Carl Data Solutions.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been with Carl since 2015. My background is in database structure, statistics, mostly in database marketing, actually. With Carl, though, we're focused on in more environmental things. Carl's based in Vancouver.
Great.
The company specializes in AI-driven predictive analytics. We're a publicly traded company. Ticker symbol is CRL on the CSE, and we're also cross-listed in small cap stock exchanges in the US and Germany.
Great, thank you so much. And can you tell me more about how Carl was started?
Sure. Carl started back in 2015. We started with some technology, but the big starting point for us was the purchase of an application, a software as a service application called Flowworks. Flowworks now has about 70 different clients across North America, and dealing with stormwater system utilities, and actually really serves as an application that covers areas where there's tens of millions of people.
And I'd love to know more about the name Carl Data Solutions. How did that all come about?
Well, actually, the name Carl was pet name for the company. We came up with the versions of why the name exists. Carl became numerous after the company was actually started.
Okay.
My favorite one was it has to do with Carl Jung and his theory of the interconnectedness of all things.
Interesting.
So we thought that's pretty appropriate for us, since we're trying to connect basically everything.
Yeah.
But really, yeah, it was a project name that turned into a company name. But has lots of meanings.
Wonderful, Greg. And can you tell me what's new at Carl these days?
Sure. We just finished a big digital supercluster project. It was sponsored by the federal government. We had partners, including Tech Resources, Microsoft, Living Lakes Canada, University of Victoria, and Genome BC, all involved. And the project went on for about 24 months. We got it in 2019. So it was a significant undertaking, a big amount of work that we built, and we focused on constructing an end-to-end environmental monitoring solution, and selected a town in southeastern BC called Nelson, and built a water balance model and a bunch of other proof of concept neat tools that came out of it.
Great. And can you tell me more about this project? What is it called, and what was the goal of this project that came out of this collaboration?
The platform we built, we call it Flow H2O, and it's a comprehensive end-to-end environmental data monitoring system. It's the great part about it is it's incredibly scalable. So the idea was to add many locations, and we still hope to do that. We in addition to the existing clients, where we've kind of rolled them into the new technology, and now we're ramping up that technology for new markets and new customers. The idea, though, is we can handle a massive amount of information coming in from multiple disparate places, and be able to provide the analytics, the real-time streaming analytics that people need to actually monitor and make predictions on infrastructure and environmental conditions and events.
Wonderful. And I'd love to hear more about the technology behind Flow H2O. What type of AI powers this platform?
Sure. So, uh, one of the greatest pieces of technology that came out of the project was a scripting engine that allows you to create new channels of data by using machine learning, feedback loops, these kinds of things, and apply it directly to real-time data that's coming into the system. So as the data comes in, it's alongside that reported data, it's creating these new calculated channels based on these pretty sophisticated algorithms. And with that and some work, you can come up with some great predictions.
Yeah,
And of course, the great part about machine learning type systems is they get better with age. The more data they get,
absolutely.
more time, more feedback you provide, the system just gets better and better and better. So it's a pretty powerful feature, and it centers prominently in a lot of the products that we're coming out with now.
Great. And so I'd love to hear more about the platform itself. So, how is the data presented? How does it help your users kind of make better decisions with these predictions?
You can access the data from the platform through an API service or one of our applications. We have several applications that
Mhm.
actually work based on the back end that we've built. In those applications, and typically across the board, people will bring the information into GIS systems or graphing reporting software. You can do lots of different, it's like a Swiss Army knife for
Nice.
real-time streaming data. You can do all sorts of great things with it, including alarming. So if a particular threshold is met based on 4 or 5 different variables for a few
Mhm.
different sites, or something new is discovered based on an algorithm that's running against the data,
Yep.
the correct people can be notified. This is incredibly beneficial, whether you're using our applications or merging it with something that like a GIS system that's say a mining company, for instance, is
Yep.
working with. There's lots of different. We made it very functional and easy to integrate into different systems.
Wonderful. And can you talk about any real world examples of how the system is used, any proof of concepts that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, the proof of concept for the data commons was a couple of predictive channels, streams of data that use a water balance model for a watershed near Nelson. What it does is it creates the predictions of future outflows of water from that particular watershed. So you can see based on all the different variables that are aggregated together and the algorithms and the updates to the underlying water balance model, what the prediction will be, say, 7 days from now. So
Mm.
it's a great tool for protecting infrastructure, for looking at what to expect if a mining company or a municipality needs to know, of course, and especially this is relevant given the flooding that we had in the fall.
Yeah.
What to expect in an upcoming system is that's going to come weather system that's going to come through. What can we expect that outflow to be, or and how is it going to impact our critical infrastructure?
Absolutely. Wonderful. And can you talk a bit more about what are the benefits of your AI platform?
Sure. Using our platform, the applications or the API interfaces that we have allows you to manipulate the streaming data that's being collected from sensors in the field, aggregate all these different data sources together in real time, and then apply the algorithms to them to get the predictive results like is my infrastructure going to wash away if
Yeah.
there's a big environmental event? How big of a storm in terms of the amount of precipitation can my system be accommodate without needing a massive capital and investment in an upgrade? And
Hmm.
is the system itself degrading over time due to age and cracks and things like that that are allowing it to become less efficient as it was when it was first developed?
Great. Related to machine learning and AI, what are the main benefits that are coming out of your platform using these technologies?
I think the biggest benefit of all is time savings and the
Mm.
ability to do things in an amount of time that makes sense, that actions can actually be addressed and attended to.
Hmm.
So, for instance, when you applying machine learning, it's looking for uh, pattern recognition, and
Yeah.
so you know the that saves a ton of time. There's some mundane tasks that need to be performed, and you have your data is just being multiplying year after year. You're getting more and more and more data, sampling it at increased frequency. You're going to run out of steam, run out of people to be able to accommodate and work with that data. What our platform does is it provides the tools to be able to harness all that information, so
Hmm.
you can become scalable and be able to add new sources without degradation in your operations at all.
Hmm. Wonderful. Great. And can you talk a bit about some of your clients and any recent raises that you've done at Carl?
Sure, sure. The we just signed actually our biggest client to date, which is LA County.
Nice.
We have Los Angeles as a city as a client, but now we've expanded and we have LA County,
Well,
which is huge. It's over 5 million people. It encompasses about 78 cities and about
wonderful.
14 or 1,500 miles of sewer systems. And so there's a lot of infrastructure there we're monitoring.
Yep.
We've got other uh, partnerships working together to expand our platform, merge it with other technologies. In particular, partnership with a Montreal-based firm called K2 Geospatial.
Hmm.
They sell a GIS mapping integration platform called JMap 500, and we can integrate our system with theirs to provide a much bigger bang for the buck for both of our client lists. And so
Hmm.
it's going to be very exciting to get to enter into this partnership.
It's great.
We were also able to strength of the clients that we have, the products that were developed from the digital supercluster, and the direction that we were going in. We were able to bring in a new CEO, John Charles Panouf,
Nice.
who's came in and helped us raise a significant amount of capital that really puts us on a firm footing moving forward, and gives us the both leadership and the capital that we need to really take things to the next level.
Yeah, it's great. Wonderful. And Greg, can you tell us about what's next at Carl Data Solutions?
We have a number of solutions that are coming out that are all based on a lot of the work we did with the digital supercluster project. The one that's imminent and that it's that I'm really excited about is something we're calling Auto QA/QC. It's a quality assurance, quality review you control.
Mhm.
Basically, what this does is it uses machine learning to pick up patterns in data sets, and look for bias, and then eliminate that bias, or at least reduce it. So
Mhm.
so you're not, if you have a lot of calculations that are driving reports and alarms and things like that, it's not based on, you're removing it as much bias from the data beforehand as possible. It's a
Mm,
massive time saver for
absolutely.
companies, because typically, that's 90% of the data project is making sure that you've got a good underlying data set.
Mhm.
So this will really help people out.
And wonderful. And can you talk about a bit more about the type of bias that you're seeing and maybe some more definitions surrounding this term here?
Sure. By bias, really, we mean anomalies
Okay.
in the data. So data points that are showing up that shouldn't be there, and,
Yeah.
we can prove that they shouldn't be there, and that's what we use the machine learning for. If there's things that happen in the field, like voltage spikes and
Mm,
calibrations go off, that lead to bad readings that come in, and or missed readings, and lots of different things. All those things can factor in, and if they're significant enough, can impact your end calculations, and the formulas and the algorithms that are running against to create these reports and alarms and whatnot. So scrubbing that data to eliminate the anomalies is extremely important, and it's a massive time saver.
yeah, absolutely. All right, wonderful, Greg. And if people wanted to get more information about Carl Data Solutions, where could they go, and what could they do?
Sure, they can reach us, or they can find out more information on our website, carlsolutions.com.
Wonderful.
Or specifically for the Flowworks application at flowworks.com.
Perfect.
There they'll find lots of new and relevant information.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
This has been a production of Ask AI, a nonprofit dedicated to advancing awareness and understanding of Canada's world-class artificial intelligence sector. Your host was Carolyn Pelletier. Series producer was Chris McClellan. The series editor was James Fajardo. We'd like to thank our series sponsors Microsoft Canada, producers of the free AI Business School, and Cinchi, the dataware platform that makes integration obsolete. We'd love to hear about your latest research, product launches, or organizational news. To request a team check-in, visit askai.org.